Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to the After Hours. My buddies, let's talk Disney.
Let's do it.
All right, so welcome back, everybody. If you were here last week, if you happen to notice, we're going to have some visitors this week. We've got something special going on today. So, Jason, take it away for us.
Well, I first want to welcome Lisa DINOTO GLASSNER back, and better than ever, and ready to go. And she's got a special background going and everything. We're all so excited. Welcome back, Lisa.
Thanks,
and,
guys.
Also, a special guest appearance here, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Lou Mongello from WDW
He won't
Radio.
take credit for any of them.
Hello, Lou.
I'm barely a man.
My friends, first of all, let's say a big hello to our audience. Actually, we have the house is full tonight. I'm seeing the numbers right now.
Look at that.
I'm
Look at
looking at your
that.
faces here.
Yes.
I see Crystal, and I thought I saw Ben duck in, and of course Marie and Donald Nicholson. Good to see you guys too. Collin, do you recognize some folks in the group?
Yeah. Hey, Ashley. She was mentioning my haircut. It was about time. It took a while, but it was about time. But finally, things opened up around here. But hey, Ashley, Caleb, saw you pop in. Thanks for sharing the feed out tonight. That was really cool. That was nice of you. Michelle, Jason's wife. Hello.
Hello.
Lisa, anybody you want to welcome in here?
I see Kevin. Hey, babe, how you doing? Ashley, of course. Donald and Marie, two of our favorite people. Let's see, I'm scrolling down here. Mom, I know you're in here. Hello.
Hi, Lisa's mom.
Crystal, hey, sweetheart. Caleb. A lot of people in the house tonight.
Lou, do you want to say hello to a lot of people in your end?
No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not saying hello, and I'm going to tell you why. It brings up bad childhood memories of watching Romper Room on Channel 9, and she would look into her magic mirror and be like, and I see Caleb, and I see Lisa, and I see Bill, and she never said Lou, and I watched her every single day, so I'm not singling people out.
Although you did mention Caleb, and it's good to see you, Caleb.
So I just say hello to you.
In general.
Guys, let me say hello to Alison. Alison Darunha is coming from a bunch of friends from Brazil. Beatriz is always here,
In Brazil.
It is late in Brazil, yes. Not that late, but they're here. So Alison, thank you. Bea, thank you. There's a lot of comments. It's going so fast that I can follow. Guys, let's move on. Well, my friends, this is the part of the show that we discuss the news, and actually the week was pretty intense in terms of news. My friends, what are your thoughts about the announcing of the opening dates?
Well, in particular, I'd like to hear what Lisa and Lou have to say about the opening dates. I'm giddy about it. I'm so excited. I don't care that it's like more than a month away. I'm just excited about it. Lise?
I think it's great to know there's a road ahead. We'll see how it plays out. I think I'm really, really proud of the company right now for how they're approaching it, how they're communicating everything that they're doing. I don't envy the people having to make these decisions and balance between so many competing, opinions and, people who don't want to wear a mask and people who are, very, very worried about their health and coming to the parks, and people who want to make the most of their AP, and obviously these people planning once in a lifetime trips. There's a lot of there's a lot of very important interests at play, and I'm super proud of the community. I was really, really proud of them at the task force meeting yesterday. And yeah, I just look forward to seeing the information as it rolls out.
And what about you, Lou?
No big deal.
We only talked about it for an hour and a half yesterday.
Look, I'm gonna address it only from a 30,000-foot view, right? And as somebody who went back to Disney Springs the day that it opened and know how I felt, right? And we love Disney because of how it makes us feel. I know how I felt getting choked up because I get choked up and everything, but knowing that I was going back and just being in that environment again and hearing the background music and seeing the cast members' smiles through their masks gets me ecstatic for July 11th. And there's a lot of details and execution and implementation, and we'll figure out how that's all going to happen as we start to get closer. But just from an announcement and, like you said, taking those first steps, I feel like I'm a 7-year-old kid again, counting down to when I can go back.
Right, and I think so many of us kind of echo that same feeling to an extent. It's just, it's a weird dynamic, but it's exciting. It's kind of at the same time new and different, so we're all kind of figuring out as we go what's going to go on. And honestly, I have strongly mixed feelings on it because I've rebooked a vacation 4 times now, but we won't get into that. But at the same time, though, it's great to have an opening date. I was hoping for more, but time will tell, and I think it's the right move on Disney's part in the 20,000-foot view, at least, for sure. But
Jason?
Unless you had something else? Jason?
I like I said, I'm just giddy about it. I can't wait to get back in. I'm super excited that it's going to be July. Certain people have to do a certain toast for me at Day.
Jason just wants to go to
looking forward to that happening very much. A little drink in a box with smoke coming my way. No, I'm just super excited, and I know it's going to be different. I know there's going to be some challenges related to the masks and so forth, but if Disney Springs is any sign of how kind of easy it's going to be, even in the midst of all of that, I think it's something that's really not going to detract from the experience. And I actually think Disney's kind of smart in being slow about this and being thoughtful about it and making sure that they do put the experience, right behind the safety. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to being able to film again too. So that's that. What about you, Carlos?
Actually, I'm happy with that. Well, I'm the Miami guy. I'm happy with that. I'm moving to Orlando next week. But actually, what I need to address is another news that came in the beginning of the week regarding, and I don't want to talk travel bans or anything in detail of that. The only thing I want to bring is I like to remember all the friends and members of the audience that are actually watching us right now from Brazil, that we're thinking about you, we're praying about you, and if you guys allow me, I want to just say one thing in Portuguese to them.
Sure. And we won't understand it anyway.
And it's actually from a part of a song from a Brazilian musician called Gilberto Gil. And I have to say to them, to be as much positive as possible, I have to say, andar com fé eu vou, que a fé não costuma falhar. And I'm going to translate to you guys quickly. I'm saying is that if I'm walking with faith, faith will never fail me. So that is something that they need now. They're going to a tough moment. The curve is just starting to climb up, but we're thinking about them. And that's the whole thing, and we need to move on with our show and thinking positively about you guys. I think it's for all of us, from all of us here.
Absolutely, and hopefully it brings a smile to some of the faces that may not be having the best time in the world right now. So yeah, it's important to have this community.
Let's move on.
Absolutely.
Welcome to the After Hours Top 5. In this segment, we'll have the chance to share with you our favorite picks. Let me explain you how it works. Every episode we will choose one topic, and then each one of us will come up with 5 different top picks. And after that is when the fun begins. Between us 3, we'll discuss and then agree on a final top 5 list. But wait, there's more. After reaching that agreement, we'll then ask you to evaluate and to validate the final list. So, the topic for this week is... Guys, the topic for this week is... Let me just show here. Top 5 songs inside the parks. Guys,
and you're gonna sing all of them, right?
I'm ready, my friend. I'm ready. I'm so ready. I'm so ready. Well, the idea is one thing that we discussed is that we could pick songs from now and also from the past.
Let me just stop you right there. So when Carlos came up with the idea, he said, let's do the top 5 songs in the parks. That was the extent of the instructions.
That's true.
The top 5 songs from the parks. So I interpreted that, just full caveat, like I interpreted that as being current songs.
Oh.
So now you may proceed.
Yes, and as we're going to start with our guest, and let's start with our friend Lou. Lou. The idea here is that we're gonna rotate. So you're gonna start with number 5 from your end, then it comes the next person, okay? And that's the whole idea.
You're familiar with this top 5?
So yeah, be gentle. I've never done one of these, so I'm not sure how this all works.
First time ever. Only 400 and something episodes now.
All right, so unlike you, Jason, I interpreted this my own way. I thought, and this is a topic that I love, I thought about songs that are unique to the parks. So I specifically excluded from my list anything that came from a Disney film or background music that might have been something that was just, in general rotation out there. So that being said, the first one on my list is also the newest one on my list, and I'm going to pull a Lou Mangello, and I'm going to sneak one in here too.
Of course.
It's Big Blue
No
World.
surprise.
It is Big Blue World from Finding Nemo, the musical. I'm also going to throw in Go With The Flow. I love this music. We're so wrong.
Lisa's going.
It's so wrong.
I'm ready for mine. I'm going to do the 2 for 2.
And look, I love it for 2 reasons, right? So obviously there was no music in the movie, yet when you watch Finding Nemo the musical, all the music makes perfect sense. I also have a personal affinity for this because when my son was a baby, the film came out, and I used to play this CD for him. Like, it was the first time I ever saw a show, walked out and bought the CD, and I played it for him I'm going to cry, as he fell asleep every single night. So I have a personal connection to it, and I just think it's beautiful and really completes the story for the show.
That's a good start. And if you can get through that attraction
It would have
without
been a
singing
good
the
start,
song at the end of it.
So well, I love it. Well, we will discuss everyone's picks in the near future. But let me go to Lisa now. Lisa, you're number 5, please.
So I'll just take a step back since now I don't need that much time to discuss my choice. I'll take a step back and say that when I heard this topic, I got super excited and needed to join you guys to talk about it. And I just started sketching down ideas, and I had within a matter of less than a minute, I think I had 15 listed, and I was like, all right, I need to reel this in. And I very quickly realized that there were certain songs that I just had a really gut emotional response to that are in the parks, and especially these days, I was starting to play some stuff and would get choked up. It was a mess.
Crier, for sure.
Well, I mean, these days I think definitely more so.
Yes,
for sure. It was triggering me in a good way as I was listening to stuff. So my number 5 actually is Go With The Flow. And yeah, I totally agree. the performer who does it is so incredibly amazing. Like the like stage stuff that's going on during that song is totally amazing. I will say, like, I have purchased the soundtrack as well, of course. I don't think the one that is available for purchase is as good as the one that's the version of it that's performed on stage. It's a little bit different. But yeah, like for me, like Go With The Flow is like, I have it on like running playlists. Like it's like one of those songs that I just listen to like constantly. So yeah, that was my number 5.
You had me until you said Run, and then I was kind of out.
Collin, your turn.
So I'm starting with probably the most mainstream one on my list, because some of these get a little kind of hidden gemish, for lack of a better word. But
wait, what? They get a little what?
Hidden gemish.
Hidden gemish. Okay.
Yeah. What did you think I said?
I thought some weird Kentucky phrase you were saying, like hidden gemish.
It's very
hidden
likely.
I don't know what
It's
that...
very likely if you can't tell from the accent. But I'm going with Soarin' on number 5 because it's just one of those things that's iconic Epcot for me. It's simple, it's to the point, but it's one of those things. Once you get up in the air and you start hearing the music, and even when you hear it in the pre-show, it takes you back. It does, and in a weird way. And there's the subtle variations of it, but the first one was the one that always hit home with me. And it's always one of those things. It brings back memories of sitting there on a hang glider with your family, 4 deep, or friends. Like we were in California. There's 3 of you sitting side by side. You can't help but look around and laugh and chuckle with the people around you. And the best scene in the world is when you get next to somebody that's never ridden it before and they're freaking out. It's always a good memory.
But now I'll take the opportunity to ask you something. Which is the connection of the Soarin' theme with Jerry Goldsmith? Because a lot of people say that he was involved in that, or the famous composer. But is it true?
I don't know.
Louis,
sure.
quiet.
I'm not. I like.
Like, is this a trick? Is this a trick question? Are you asking me a
No.
question?
No, it's not. I heard something regarding Jerry Goldsmith and in part of as an inspiration for the Soarin' theme. That's it, and I'm bringing here.
Yeah, he is the composer of the theme for Soarin'.
But is it a whole composer, or was just part of it?
I believe he's the composer of the entire score, unless maybe he had like an intern.
Do you know what Jerry Goldsmith had for breakfast the day that he composed Soarin'?
I do.
He
had gluten-free waffles, which aren't really waffles, but I believe. I mean, from my understanding, he scored the entire.
Oh, it's the entire thing.
Well, there you go.
Okay. There's your answer.
There you are. Are you satisfied with that, Carlos?
I'm satisfied with that.
Okay. Well, that's what's important.
Let's moving on to Jason. Where are you at? Number 5.
Or number 5. So I'm so glad that you said Soarin' because
you wanted to put it on there and you didn't.
So just to tell you, like Soarin' would have actually, I wouldn't have been number 1, but it probably would have been number 2 if I had known that we could pick extinct songs or songs that we can't hear anymore, because it's the original Soarin' soundtrack that I love so much. But alas, that's not mine. Number 5 for me is, and I went in a different direction than Lou, because I kind of went in the opposite direction in some ways, because some of my picks are actually from the ambient music in the parks, kind of
so
like general
music.
Usual. I don't think it's cheating. Like it's specific enough for me, like a sidewalk outside in the Mexico Pavilion. But that's not it. That's not it. It's actually going to be. So my number 5 is the Sunset Boulevard area music in Hollywood Studios. I just love. Amazing. I feel like of all the spots in the studios, like that sitting at the end of the street there, maybe with a snack. In the shadow of the Tower of Terror, and it's transformative in terms of like moving you to this other place in time. I think. I don't know. I always feel like I'm in an extra good mood when I'm there. So
it's a good pick. Pick.
Thanks.
I will go through my pick. Is the way that I'm gonna prove to everybody that I'm the older guy in the room here. And I
think that's the whole list.
and I'll tell you, my list is totally nostalgic. and my number 5 is actually from Epcot, and is from, and I will go try to do a 2-for-1 here, because my pick it is Energy. You make the world go round, from Universe of Energy, but I need to make an honorable mention to the Universe of Energy theme too. But my pick, it is. I will not sing. I'm almost ready to sing, but I will not do that. No. My pick will be Energy. You make the world go round. I'm crazy about that song. I really like it. And actually, I got to know by one of the Lou's episodes, I think it was 2 episodes ago, that was some in the mailbox list, that there was some mention about that song and the person who was singing, and I really like it. I really like it. Nice. Okay, Lou, you're number 4.
I'm so happy you took us the nostalgic round, because that's exactly where I'm going. Now is the time. Now is the best time, also known as the best time of your life. This is the beginning of my love letter to Richard and Robert Sherman. It is not the first, nor shall it be the last. I know Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow was the original. It is the current song. It is a favorite for so many people, but I love Now Is the Time, and Now Is the Best Time, because I remember as I was growing up going to Walt Disney World, I guess in sort of those early formative years where those memories I have with going with my dad and mom and brother, that was a song that was playing. And when the attraction moved from Disneyland to Walt Disney World, it moved in 73, it opened in 74, they decided to change the messaging to not think about what was going to happen tomorrow. GE was like, no, we want to talk about our products that are happening right now. And, they were doing a lot of obvious product placement inside the attraction. So for me, it's the messaging, it's the nostalgia, and it's the Sherman Brothers that, that make that almost a lot higher on my list than 4.
That's a hard one to pass up on for sure. I'm shocked it didn't make my list, really, but that's a good one for sure.
Yeah, it's a really good one. Lisa, you're number 4.
So I'm really glad the ones you guys have been saying so far, because they're ones I had to cut as I was stripping down my original 15. Soren's actually my ringer on my phone. If you saw me with my phone a second ago, it's because I was pulling something up. So I was going to stay away from some of the ambient music in the parks, because I was sort of putting the same rules on myself. But as I was going through what I wanted to put on here, I want to play something for you really quickly, and I think we will all feel why it has to be on my list.
Whoa.
If we don't get a copyright strike here.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that would cause an issue. It's the Interventions. It's the Interventions loop, and maybe it's just because I haven't been able to go for so long now, but I got really choked up as I was listening to that earlier today. It's certainly not the. Looking at my list, it's Epcot heavy, not surprisingly, but it's one of those songs that just puts me in that place, whether I'm carrying my sleeping child out of the parks and seeing all the lights in the sidewalk, or it's like that. It just gets me in all the feels, that one. And it's I don't think I could hum it to myself if you told me to, but when you hear it, and again, I'm more sensitive right now because we haven't been in the parks for so long, but it hits me so hard when I hear it. So yeah, the Intervention.
It's live video gold, as Lou always says.
It's probably good I can't play a lot of these songs as I'm talking about them, but yeah, so my number 4 is the Interventions loop, and I almost put Tomorrowland as well.
That's
that has a similar effect on me.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, you're right.
Way to sneak that in.
Do a honorable mention. Okay, Collin, you're number 4.
So this is the most modern one on my list, and it's actually I'm shocked that it's even on my list. But when I was thinking back through the songs that kind of have recently been like the ones that kind of hit home with me, this one popped up, and it's of all things, it's a section of Flight of Passage when it takes the big dip at the end and it plays the music that kind of goes into the kind of the softer music, but not like the quiet music. And I play it, but I can't. and, but I don't know, that always hits home with me. It's like when you hit that point in that attraction, it's like the really thrilling part, and you start looking around, people start like hooping and hollering, and it's fun to see the reaction of people, even if you've ridden it 100 times. And you get that nice breeze in your face, so it's different, it's new, it's something a lot of people will automatically relate to, so it had to make my list. And when you add it with the sensory experience in the last week's show, you have kind of the best of both worlds, and
the Fruity Pebbles
smell. I had
smell?
to put it on the list. Yeah, the Fruity Pebble smell, as Carlos likes to say. But it's really recognizable for me, and the soundtrack's on iTunes now and Spotify, so if you miss that sound, you can always listen to it. And it's just the Flight of Passage ride-through is what it's listed as. It's great. Shocked me that it was there, but it's great.
It's interesting because I don't think I can hear it in my head. Like I can't. It's not a recognizable.
If you hear it, you'll know.
Yeah, so I have to find it and play it again so I can understand your fascination with it.
Yeah, there will be people that will be obsessed. I promise you. But so that brings us. What's next on your list, Jason?
So number 4 for me is, so we're going back to Epcot and we're going to Spaceship Earth, and it's just Spaceship Earth soundtrack, the whole kit and caboodle. I just love it. I don't have an objectively interesting reason to say why. I love it. I love it for the nostalgia. I love it because it actually is a beautiful soundtrack. I think it's one of those, like some others I'll talk about, it's one of those if you listen to it in the car or while you're if you're running because someone's chasing you, then you can actually you can picture where you are in the attraction based on what you're hearing in the soundtrack for it, and I kind of love that. I love that it just takes, I can listen to the song and it just takes me back to that attraction that I love so much. So Spaceship Earth is number 4 for me. Carlos?
My number 4 is it is funny because I started to like that song much more when I heard a version that they did of the song in a piano. One thing I like to tell you guys, I'm really into music. I like music a lot, but when it comes to music, what really gets me is melody. It's not much for lyrics. It's not much for rhythm. It's melody, and that song has a part of it that has one of the nicest melodies I ever heard. And I'm talking about the Spectrum Magic theme, but not that epic part, but the melody itself of that song, which is beautiful. I really like. Actually, I always love the parade itself. But my number 4 is the Spectrum Magic theme.
That's a good one.
And Carlos, I want to put something on your radar if it's not already been there. And Luke can elaborate on this probably a little bit, but have you heard the name Michael Iceberg? And Lou's shocked that I know who this is. But if you don't know, Carlos, you need to listen to that because it sounds very familiar. That's about all I'll say. Lou may be able to elaborate a little more better than I can, but
just look up Michael Iceberg and his incredible iceberg machine, Tomorrowland,
cool.
About 76, 77,
cool.
somewhere around there. It's fascinating. You can't stop watching.
There are some good videos, too.
Yeah.
Don't do it now.
Shockingly.
No, I'm trying.
Yeah, wait until watch it later.
Guys, I'm running.
And he's still around. Michael Iceberg is still around. I mean, not at Disney World. I mean, he may be coming to Disney World, but not as a performer, but he's still around.
But I'm running so many clicks and buttons and pieces here that I'm not going to take a look now, but I'm making the notes.
I think Lou owes us the number 3, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, Lou, number 3.
Two tiny wings, eyes big and yellow, horns of a steer, he's a lovable fellow. One little spark will forever hold a place in my heart for all the reasons. Again, my love letter to the Shermans continues in retro Epcot When I say One Little Spark, I'm thinking 1983, like original incarnation of the attraction. I can hear like Chuck McCann and Ron Schneider and the lyrics so clearly. It was an attraction that I loved. I continued to love for all of the emotional reasons. And I think that show is that song and the lyrics are quintessential Epcot, dare I say even quintessential, Walt Disney. So for the music, for the nostalgia, and for the message, One Little Spark.
Great
pick.
Great pick.
Great pick.
Yes. He stole one of mine, but doesn't matter.
I'm glad somebody said it because it was going to be on my list and it didn't make it on my list. So
Yeah.
I know.
Lisa, it's your number 3, please.
Yeah, Colin, I feel the same way. I keep being relieved that the ones that I had to cut are getting shout outs and getting loves.
Almost like a sigh.
I'm staying in Epcot, but I'm walking across the way to the lagoon, all the way to American Adventure, and right into that theater. And I'm going to give I'm sure it's on no one's list. I'm going to give a very, very quick shout out to Two Brothers. Which
just makes me want to cry.
It's such a great. It's not my number 3, but I do want to at least mention it because I love that song so much. But Golden Dream is my number 3. Just from the Voices of Liberty to that great show to to right to the end when they're doing the montage. That's somewhat recently been updated with some timely stuff. I was saying, I had this long list of great songs, and I was trying to stick with the ones that really get me in all the feels. And so Golden Dream is my number 3.
Whoa,
That's solid.
Solid, yes. Collin, my friend, you're number 3.
Okay, this is my go with me here, and some people probably don't have any idea what this song is, and if they don't even tell you what it is when you're in the park, but I'm going to Kilimanjaro Safari, and when they change the radio, you come across a song called Hapa. Somebody correct me because I'm going to butcher this, but Hapa Duniani, I think it is. But when they switch to that song, preferably the old version where you had Wilson and Symbol 1 and that whole dynamic, but then you go to the Hapa Duniani and you can look it up on YouTube. It pops up immediately. But if you know what I'm talking about, you know the exact song. It's just that perfect Animal Kingdom feels song. And it's one of those, if you've ridden the attraction, you're going to remember it. It automatically makes you feel like you're sitting in the heart of the savannah, and it's just great. That's all I got. It's just a good memory.
It's not that you stole something from my list. It was not on my list, but was a honorable mention. So, Jason, you're number 3.
That specific song was an honorable mention?
Yes. I'm really crazy about that song too. I will not sing. I'm ready to sing, but I'm not doing it.
Please.
I'm not doing that. Jason, you're number 3.
Well, I'm going to stay in the Animal Kingdom. We're going to go to the front, towards the front of the park, and I'm picking. So again, there's another whole soundtrack, ambient areas, music of the Oasis in the front part of the Animal Kingdom, and I think that this is, I think it's probably. I don't know that anybody is, unless they have the album, I don't know that anybody sticks around long enough to listen to the entire soundtrack in the Oasis, because most people just kind of blow by it. But it's one of my favorite spots in all of the Animal Kingdom, and if you don't know that soundtrack, you should hop on and buy it or jump on Spotify if it's there. It's fantastic, really, really, really relaxing and nice, and sets the tone. For me, it sets the tone kind of spiritually as you enter the park too. So, the Oasis is my number 3.
I just need to make a comment here because Terry gave a little good fun fact. Hapa Duniani is Swahili for Lord's Prayer. It's just for
I actually did know that.
Yeah, that's where. Thank you, Terry.
Good
thank you
job, Terry.
Thank you very much. Well, my number 3 again to show a little bit my age. It is It's not that the attraction is still there. It's still almost. It's not almost the same, but it's still there. But the song changed a lot. And I'm talking about one of the also my favorite songs, and it is "Listen to the Land." I really like that song. That is for me. It is also a song that I can listen every single week. I will go after that in my phone, and it's great. I like the chorus, and brings me good memories, good feelings. And it's an amazing melody. Listen to the Land. And it's funny because a lot of people, when I talk about that, they don't say, "What are you talking about? This is a song?" Yes, it's an amazing song there.
I'm happy you mentioned that because it's not one that like would ever make my list because I never got to experience it in person. But at the same time, it's my ringtone right now.
Oh, really?
So it's just one of those. Yeah, it's always struck a chord with me. I don't know why. And every once in a while, for a while, they used to have it as kind of a background melody at the beginning of Living with the Land, didn't they? Correct? Is that right? Yeah. I know I had recognized it somewhere, but I'd never put the pieces together. And then I went back and watched it because I'm the young guy with the old guy mentality. so I like to go back and see the nostalgic stuff. I've always been obsessed with it, but it's my ringtone.
Whoa.
Fun fact.
Good choice.
Lou, let's go to your second one.
Very quickly, Collin, just make believe you're a tiny little seed. A tiny little seed that's reaching up to reach your... I love that song. It almost made my list. It screams Epcot in the 80s. And there's an instrumental version that plays at some of the BGM outside of the Land Pavilion, and it used to play as part of the entrance loop back in like the late 90s, early 2000s too.
That's probably where I remember it then.
Yeah, there's a few different instrumental versions of it. But like all of you, I will stay in Epcot Center, which will always be Epcot Center to me. When somebody said Spaceship Earth before, I got a little bit of the heebie-jeebies because I was afraid you were going to steal Tomorrow's Child. There's only one theme song for Spaceship Earth, and it shall forever be Tomorrow's Child. It was from
That's a good one.
Like 86 to 94, the Walter Cronkite version before they changed it. I think again when it played, what it played against. So as you were doing the descent, when there actually was a really good descent, and you saw all the vignettes of the children communicating and just being kind to each other, like I love the lyrics, I love the message, I love, again, there's a pattern. The lyrics, the message, and the nostalgia all play into it for me. Before the Jeremy Irons version.
Oh. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't that make an appearance in the Epcot Forever show?
It's also in the Epcot entrance loop. There's an instrumental version in the Epcot entrance loop.
Yes, so we can knock out a few birds with one stone. Epcot Forever. All of these fall in Epcot now.
Stop talking, God.
Lisa,
Kind of a miracle that my number one hasn't been said yet.
Lisa, you're number two.
So again, I love you guys so much because you're saying all the ones I didn't get to say. So when you write these lists, you're like trying to be like new and creative and like come up with like cool stuff that like people wouldn't have thought of. And so I fought this one like so hard. I couldn't not include a relatively new, not very well-known little ditty called Happily Ever After.
Not very well-known.
I fought it so hard because it's like the least creative thing ever. But I you can laugh at me about my running playlists. It's on every single one. I agree with you usually, Carlos, about the melody being the thing that like really reels me in. This is all lyrics. Especially being someone who like did feel like she got kind of called here and lives here now and made that move. Like the lyrics just speak to me so much. I just stand there and I watch the castle and the fireworks and I hear the lyrics and like I just want to cry like happy tears every single time. So it's like, again, it's like that one you didn't want to include because it just feels like so totally not creative and like so easy. And you could take one trip to Disney and like come back and say that's your favorite new song. But it just, again, like I'm a big sap now too. But I couldn't not include it. Happily Ever After, and that's from somebody who went kicking and screaming when they took wishes away. So.
But you make a really good point. If it is your one trip to Disney, that's the song you're going to come back singing. And I think that speaks volumes for so many people, and important to note, and important to be on the list because of that reason.
Well, it's some really powerful stuff, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah. They did good. They did good with that one.
And that's one thing I have to tell. I like that song a lot. I used to be a big Wishes theme. Yeah, it was.
I will still cry if they play Wishes ever again.
I have to. I have to pay respect to our friend Jeremy, because his version, his acoustic version of the song, which we use in our end credit for the show, it is amazing. And I saw a version that he did of both, combining both Wishes and Happily Ever After, and it's amazing. So heads up to our friend Jeremy. He did a really. We are still waiting for the Disney acoustic show.
That's right.
Yes,
Tuesday.
And it's worth saying, I think, maybe a little that, if I was just going for music, if I was going back, I would probably say Celebrate the Magic rather than the Wishes song, because again, that was the one. That was the moment that I fell in love with Disney again when we were back, was Celebrate the Magic. So that song.
It's always the Wishes closing song for me. The softer version they played right after Wishes was over. That one tugged at the heartstrings.
Mm-hmm.
Collin.
So where are we? Are we at number two now?
Yeah, number 2. Yes.
So, this is the one I fought tooth and nail, actually, but I had to add it because it was one that is tied to so many memories, and I got to tell a short story because of it. But the song itself is Zippity Doo Dah, but the one from Splash Mountain. And so much of it is just because of all the people that we've ridden that with over the years and all the memories attached to it. We had one trip, we were traveling with some friends, and we went down the hill at the end. And as soon as we went down the hill, the guy's hat flew off that was in front of us. Well, that was part of our party, and the guy behind us in the back row caught it on the way down. So when he got to the bottom, he slapped the hat back on it. He's like, "Oh, I lost my hat." And the guy behind him sticks it on his head. "No, you didn't. You've still got your hat." But so many of those, and it's one of my dad's absolute favorite attractions. So it's something that we always do together because the rest of our family doesn't always want to ride because they don't want to get wet. So it's one of those things, it adds to kind of the nostalgia factor just because of that family influence. And when you get to that last scene, you're soaking wet, you've got the song playing, you can't help but smile. So that's why it makes my list.
But let me, you went to the Splash Mountain, because last time we tried to ride I think you were in my team, the no roller coaster team.
Oh, I'll ride Splash Mountain. Yeah,
okay.
There's only a few things that I won't ride. At least at Walt Disney World. Now
It was
Disneyland's a different story.
Let's put it this way: going to Disneyland with Carlos and Collin is like a bad LSAT question. Betty can sit next to Charlie, but Charlie won't sit next to Robin, and Robin won't only sit next to Phil. And
if it drops or goes upside down, me and Carlos are out.
For me, the Pirates of Caribbean drop is pretty radical. So
I'm not that bad.
My friend Jason, you're number 2, please.
So we're heading back to the Magic Kingdom, back to Tomorrowland, and we're going into Space Mountain, and we're going to pause and just enjoy the Star Tunnel music. Which I don't even know if you can call it music. It's music, right? But I think in this world you're in one of two camps. Either there's someone who loves the Star Tunnel music and can't get enough of it, and you're the people who's like, turn that off. I can't take anymore, right?
And I stood in line for 2 hours.
I just love it. It's so soothing. I can't get enough of it. So my number 2 surprise is Space Mountain Star Tunnel music.
You love it or you're wrong is basically your options.
It's like MMMBop. That's what I can say about MMMBop. There's only people who either love MMMBop or people who won't admit to loving MMMBop. So
don't you compare those two songs together.
Yeah, it's a sacrilege. Guys, I'll go to my number 2, but then I have to just that being the last one always bad, because Lou already stole my second one, and then Collin took one of my honorable mentions that will say no, I would combine with an honorable mention. He took it, and then Lisa took my other option for the honorable mention. So well, my number 2 is Sherman Brothers, and it's One Little Spark. I remember it's not that the reaction I had when I heard the starting introduction of Epcot Forever, when you start to hear that song and that melody, it's true, and it was so strong for me. And again, I'm a guy that attached to melodies, so. That melody is perfect, and the Sherman Brothers are perfect in terms of melodies. The whole Mary Poppins thing is strong melody always, and it's so One Little Spark is my number 2. Lou stole it, but I'll bring an honorable mention, because my honorable mention, the second one was the one from Kilimanjaro Safari, and the third one was Wishes. So my there's something on my sleeve here. It is the Main Street Electrical Parade theme, because I love it. I love it too. That is strong, and so. But my number 2 is One Little Spark.
How many did you finish? That was like 6 as your number 2.
That was a lot.
I mean, they're all good. Don't get me wrong. They were fantastic.
Being the last one, I can do that too. So, my friend Lou, your first one.
So, quick trivia question: what is the title of the Main Street Electrical? What is the name of the song?
Baroque Hoedown.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'll say I know this, but I can't come up with it.
Lisa, can you repeat that, please?
It's the Baroque Hoedown.
Yes, Baroque Hoedown. And actually, someone in the thread, mentioned it before, but the thread is so big right now that
don't look at the thread. I'm getting lots of hate for the Umbop comments. Just
okay.
Move along.
You deserve it.
It's like reading. I'm going to read angry tweets against Jason.
You totally deserve
your eyes.
Lisa, you're Lou.
So for my number 1, I have to say either what's wrong with you people for not mentioning it, or thank you for not mentioning it. This was far and away.
So scared.
Listen, if it's not your number 1, we need to have a conversation about our friendship. Because if Grim Grinning Ghosts did not make the top of your list, listen, it is a beautiful piece of music. It is the only song that plays throughout the entire attraction, except for a couple of bars of Here Comes the Bride in the attic scene. The fact that they are able to speed up and slow down the melody to fit the scene and make it this beautiful, brilliant combination of spooky and fun, sort of like Pirates of the Caribbean, which, by the way, the lyrics were written by the same person as Grim Grinning Ghosts, which was Existencio. Buddy Baker composed a song. He's done a lot of theme park stuff for Disney. I love how the melody modulates between the minor keys, and there's this great dissonance that happens throughout the song. I think it's incredibly creative. It's beautifully artistic, and it is a classic that I don't ever think it can or should ever be removed from the parks.
And it's like, what, 10 minutes long in its full version? Something like that?
Oh, really?
Which is incredible on its own, yeah.
Lisa, you're number 1.
So Grim Grinning Ghosts was not on my list because I knew Lou would speak to it better than me.
Yeah, that's quite
nice cover.
It's true. It's true. I thought you'd say Pirates too. I'm a little disappointed, but that's okay. How did this not get stolen? Oh my gosh. Illuminations.
Yeah, she's about this.
How am I the first?
Because I thought we couldn't pick. I didn't think we could pick Extinct. So when I saw it on your list, I was so happy.
So it's a 3-fer, and I'm going to take them all.
Don't do that to me, Lisa. I've seen your list. I know you're going to do it to me anyway.
Okay. So Reflections of Earth, we go on, and then Promise. Like, Promise is probably the one that, like, it's like, the torches are still going, and, like, the park's empty because you've waited it out, and you're, like, walking out, and it's playing, and like, you can kind of still feel the fire from the torches, and, like, hear, like, it's... Yeah, so Reflections of
me
Earth
and Lisa get along.
Promise is like, and it's the song. I mean, far and away, like when I didn't live here and I would just like cue something up to play in my house or at the pool or whatever. Like it was always Illuminations, always. And then it got to the point where like I would miss Disney so much that like I couldn't listen to it anymore because it would like make me too emotional. Like it's nothing pulls my heartstrings like the soundtrack to Illuminations.
Oh. I love Illuminations too.
Yeah, and I'm seeing the comments.
I can't believe.
and everybody's is the comments are just saying Lisa is the winner with that one. Well, wait for mine, but let's see.
Well, Collin. I can't go now, so mine was exactly the same. It was Promise. It was something about, and I guess I take it a little different way. Because normally when Illuminations ends, I'm the guy that's sticking around for another hour and a half some days. So I've heard the full song probably more than most people, and there's something about just being in an empty Epcot and hearing the end of that song, especially if it's a light crowd night, and as it fades, it's nothing like it. And that's why it's on the top of my list. She said it more eloquently than I could, so I'm not even going to try to top that.
It's better when you have a belly full of Takumite, by the way.
Oh, yes. I wouldn't know.
Jason, my friend.
All right. So this, I think, I struggle. If I could have had Illuminations in my own little mind's rules, like if I could have had Illuminations on my list, I'm not even sure that it would have edged this one out. So my number one, this is the song we're staying in Epcot, and my number one is this. Attraction music that when I listen to it, it must bring my heart rate down at least 10 beats. Like I become so calm and so chill and so centered, and it is the soundtrack to Impressions de France. Like for me, it's like going to this attraction with me is like going to a cathedral. It's like I get mad. I shush people who are talking. I'm like, this is
don't get him started.
This is a religious experience. Just stop. I can't get enough of it. And there are times where I'll cue it up on the drive to the parks or the drive home from the parks, and because it just brings me into that space and into that mindset. And I love it. And I miss it. And man, I'm gonna listen after the show.
Well, my number one. It is even older than Energy, with what makes the world go round. Then Listen to the Land, and actually, let's see if Lou can figure it out before. I'm talking about a song that actually, from as far as I know, didn't make any cut in an official record. I remember in the past I was trying always to find where I could find a record of that. And I only could listen to the original version actually when I go to YouTube. And the only time that I found it, I found a ragtime version of that song. Lou, can you figure out what it is?
So if you found, I'm gonna reverse engineer it. If you found a ragtime version, which means it probably wasn't from Main Street USA, it wasn't on any official album, which means it probably didn't come from one of the attractions. I'm thinking it's maybe background music. So you are thinking of the Fountain of Nations loop.
No, and that's
a good one. No.
It's a good one, but okay, I'm talking.
You didn't give me a lot to work with, admittedly.
Yes.
Very vague.
What I want, I'm talking about If You Had Wings, the theme song for If You Had Wings. If and probably Collin is now trying to figure out what I'm talking about.
No, I haven't heard it. Remember, I know what YouTube is.
I'm talking about that an attraction that actually where today's where you have the Buzz Lightyear's spin range is where before even the United Airlines attraction, there was Delta. Sorry, yes,
yeah, it was Delta.
Delta, and then was before that there was one for Eastern Airlines, and it was If You Had Wings, and it is funny because that brings a family memory, because that song was not only my favorite, but was my sister's favorite, my brother's favorite, my mother's favorite, and my father's favorite. And every time we were far away in Brazil, we were thinking about Disney, we mentioned that song. So it is my number one. It is nostalgic, also a beautiful, beautiful melody. But that is If You Had Wings. Tiffany saying, Carlos, I don't think I was born yet, and well, of course wasn't. Yes,
no, I most definitely wasn't, but I'm showing how geeky of a Disney fan I am that I've gone back and I know about all of the versions of this. It's kind of sad, but also kind of great in my opinion. So
it's another Buddy Baker song.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it really? I don't think I did know that.
And it was really. It was really arranged in a old-fashioned way, but was so beautiful, and it suited so well the attraction. And I can still stand here. And in Yes, Lou, there was the only thing recorded that I can find. It is a ragtime. There is a CD that is called Ragtime Disney, something like that. Mm-hmm. They did a little version of If You Had Wings. And that's my number one. So I would like to ask, and I would be kindly to ask first our guests, if there's something that you wish to modify in your list. Any
No.
No.
I'm feeling good about my list. Although, since everybody else threw in honorable mentions, I'm going to just throw in Boo to You just for fun.
Oh yes.
That's not a bad one.
No.
Because now you're singing Boot to You in your head,
exactly.
and you're not going to get it out.
I'll throw two in very quickly.
Shocker.
For all the nostalgic reasons, Tiki Room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And because of yesterday's news, it gets me in the feels right now. Walking right down the middle of Main Street, USA.
Oh yes. Mm-hmm. Oh yes, that's. My friends.
Those are strong lists. Those are great lists. I don't think I would disagree with any that was on anyone's list.
But I'm not going to.
Unlike the food and the this is so good. I think
we all love it all.
I miss it.
My friends, it will be now a hard time for me because the thread is just amazing. But I just want to say some highs now to some friends from Brazil. Eric Pontodio. Eric actually, Lou, our friend Eric, he's saying hello from Brazil. Alison already gave a hi, but my friend Marcia, Bea, Felipe Tirso, Felipe, who was always also following and watching lunch breaks with Jason. So hello to my dear friends in Brazil, and stay safe there, please. And
I want to say hi to Amanda Bowner. You feel me? Impressions de France, right? Amanda with Disney Travel for All, and I'm so sorry. I know, Chris, we're still friends. Don't hate me about the Mbop thing. Just appreciate you for being here. Chris, of course, is in Southern California, and Fred Abley. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you, my friend.
Fred, yeah.
Looking forward to catching up with you this weekend. So, Collin, what about you?
Yeah, I'm just looking back through it, some of the ones that have come across. Lauren on here, Tapestry of Nations Parade. I can't believe none of us said that, but it kind of goes into Promise. in little ways. There's another one on here that I saw a second ago, but I can't remember what it was. Where is it? Oh, somebody said the Galaxy's Edge theme, the new one. That's a good one too. That's probably the most modern of anything on our list. Mm-hmm. But a lot of good options on here. Veggie, fruit. That's iconic. I couldn't put that on my list, but it is a good one. But yeah, lots of good ones on here.
And we forgot about the computer song.
The Studer computer song.
Lisa, in your end, anyone you want to? Your high?
I would just like to say a great big hello to Sam. I love you, Sam. I miss you. Make my mom come down here. You can drive. You don't have to fly.
Lou, anyone from your end?
Yes. Any more songs or any more hellos?
Any more hellos?
Any more?
And
hello to you. I'm just hello to you. You know who you are. I'm speaking right to you. I'm not going to do it.
Come on, you got to do it.
I'm not singling anybody out.
Okay, guys. So let's move.
Let's do this.
Let's move on.
This is where.
Lou, so you're totally by surprise. You being just informed that you're in the Mondialo Challenge.
Oh no! And I see the
logo. you
glorious. You would not believe how long that took.
You are in the Mondialo Challenge. The whole idea is that we're gonna do a nice trivia segment with you, my friend. The idea is that we're gonna somehow try to stump you, and
it should be pretty easy. But go ahead.
No, I don't think so. And so each one of us came up with some questions. I will start with this. And is this right? It's me? Yes, it's me.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get crazy here with it. And
we made some of these easy for you, Lou. Some of them are multiple choice.
Lou,
so at least you got a guess.
Lou, pay attention.
Sake for dinner was a bad idea, but go ahead.
Pay attention, my friend. This one should be easy, I think. Question number 1. This was the year that the Osborne family Spectacle of Lights first appeared on Residential Street in what was called the Disney MGM Studios.
I know I should go with my first gut reaction on this, and I'm not going to. I think I have the right range. I could be completely wrong.
You want a hint?
90.
We close already.
Would you say is that your final answer?
No. If it's wrong, it's not my final answer. If it's right, of course it's my final answer, and I've said it with complete authority. 95, 96, it might be 84 for all I know.
It's 95. You got it right.
Yes.
He's off to a good start. Now he can't go completely blank on this one.
Be prepared, my friend. Be prepared.
The whiff is off the table.
Yeah.
Or I can go only downhill from here. So.
Yes.
I think you've got the next one, too. We'll see.
Well, we already talked about Baroque Hoedown, right?
We did.
So question number 2 is multiple choice.
Baroque Hoedown.
Yeah, well, we're not that easy.
That's not one of the choices.
Okay. On Monday, October 25th, 1971, the electrical water pageant premiered on the Seven Seas Lagoon and Bay Lake for Dedication Day at Walt Disney World. Which one of these floats was not included in the original lineup of floats? A, sea serpent, B, whale, C, turtle, D, 2 sea lions playing with a ball, or E, clamshell opening and closing revealing a mermaid?
E. There's never an E. It's always A, B, C, D. I'm gonna say E because you put. I'm gonna go clamshell mermaids, or the seal.
That is incorrect.
Or A or B.
It's C. The turtle. It's the turtle.
It's
The turtle wasn't there in the original one.
We
We have been successful.
It
But
is
it did
1-1.
come in like the next version of it, like a couple years later. Turtle was introduced. So
that one wasn't 100% fair, but we had.
no,
fun.
it was totally not fair at all. But it was fun. Okay, Collin.
Now this one, I don't know if it'll stump him or not, but we're gonna try it. So inside Disney's Riviera Resort, Disney's newest resort, one room was left off the sequential room number signage on the 8th floor. The room is even rumored to be non-existent in Disney's primary reservation system at the front desk. What's the room number?
Oh my God, I know that. Like, I remember being there and talking about it. I know this is wrong. It's like 814 or 822.
God, he's
No, because it's 4 numbers.
no, but he's got the right building.
He does have the right building
Man.
and the right floor, but I gave him the floor.
Yeah. I 8112.
8347.
I'll-
And just to prove it, we have a slide to show that.
Yes.
We have a visual aid.
just to mention to you guys, you changed the whole sequence here of my on my script. But don't
And
worry.
just to be clear, my trivia books were correct when they were actually published. Like 93% of the information in there was true.
Okay, Lisa.
All right. This wasn't my idea, Lou.
But
When
she's
the
participating.
When the beloved boathouse reopened last week in Disney Springs, it unveiled changes to its menu. In addition to adding scrumptious items like grilled fresh mahi sandwiches and boneless ribeye to the menu, it removed some items as well. Which one of these items is no longer on the menu? A, grilled mahi tacos. B, the Yacht Club. C, coriander seared yellowfin tuna. D, baked crab stuffed lobster. And there's another E, roasted green circle chicken breast.
I'm going to go. Oh man, I
You
think
made
it's
it harder on purpose.
I think it's the yacht. So I know that there is a chicken breast. I don't think it's called that anymore. So I don't know if you're tricking me with the name or just grilled chicken breast, which you don't order when you go to the boathouse, by the way. But so no, I'm going to say it's the last one because it's called something. The chicken is now different. No, I had the grouper. No, I'm going to go with jeez.
I just want to add, like,
Okay.
remember when Chef Bob sat next to you and explained how every decision was made about what was removed and what was added? He went into great detail about this one and how why they introduced.
No, I stopped listening because I was hungry and wanted him to just
You saw the pimento dip and you're done. You're like, I'm done. Pimento, it's your.
So I think I'm going to say the Yacht Club.
So
Or
I
chicken.
didn't write these. And I would have said that too, but it was the baked crab stuffed lobster.
And that was Jason's question, so
Because-
he's gonna have to explain why.
I want a ruling from the judges. They do
Because-
have a crab stuffed lobster.
No,
I
they
still
do not.
believe.
They pulled it off and they replaced it with lobster Oscar or Oscar lobster. They separated the crab out now, and it's a different preparation. And our friend Zach Brown cut his finger on the lobster.
So there's technically lobster there. It's just not
yeah.
stuffed inside.
There's no crab stuff inside. It's different.
Hey, you guys remember that time Jason came with me to the boathouse? We never went back again.
But all of these other items are actually still on the menu, so or have been introduced. So
I don't believe you. I might go there tomorrow for lunch.
I think that's a great idea. I may meet you there. And Chef Bob actually had the chicken for lunch that day, if you remember.
And I'm going to have a me party table. I'm going to have a party of one.
Lou, is I think this is the next one. Yeah, I'm getting right. Yes. Lou,
I've only gotten one right,
Is this
by the
me?
way.
This is mine. This is mine. Okay.
Yeah, it's yours. Yes.
There we go.
Yes.
Okay. This is a reference back to my very, very favorite interview that you've done for the WDW Radio podcast.
He's
So,
bound to get this one.
on July 12th, 2009, for episode 127 of the WDW Radio Show, you interviewed Disney legend Julie Andrews. According to the Los Angeles Times, Walt Disney himself offered Julie Andrews the iconic role of Mary Poppins after attending this musical on Broadway. And there's a bonus if you can name the role, what role Julie Andrews was also playing in the musical.
It was Camelot.
Told you he'd get that one.
And she was playing Cammy Lot.
I feel bad
She was playing the lady with the
that.
crown. I don't.
Guinevere. Yes.
That's it.
But
That's
yeah,
the one.
way to go. Good job on the
That was a
Camelot.
good. That was a hard question.
That's awesome.
He redeemed himself on the first and last one.
Oh no, there's one more.
Oy.
There's one more.
There's the one Oh, I'm so sorry. I had nothing to do with this question. I just
We do. Yeah, this is
you
hard.
apologize before the question gets asked. It gets me very
Oh, you're
nervous.
talking about
Yeah,
mine?
this is Carlos.
Oh, yes, this is yours.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about...
Serve it up, Carlos.
Lou, first of all, I have to tell you that you know that I'm really a good friend of yours. You really...
We're all friends here. We just
I
not good at
love you,
showing.
I love you, my friend. I love you, but I needed to come with that one. That's one I was. But I think you're gonna get it.
I think you will too.
Yeah, I think I'll read the way that it is my question, but the card, the person who prepared the card was Collin, so he can be blame off. Well, question number 6.
Don't play me.
Question number 6. During the Florida project in the land buying process, a situation arose when some parcels had two owners, one for the surface rights and other for the mineral rights. The question is the following, my friend. What's the name of the university that used to own the majority of the mineral rights for the land where Walt Disney World currently sits?
This is probably by far the hardest question.
It's
This is hopelessly mean.
It's Tulane or Tufts.
You got it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
No, he didn't get it yet. This is 50-50.
He did get it. That hard of a question, I'll give it
No,
to him.
yeah.
Man.
It's the one syllable.
It's Tulane.
No, it is Tufts.
It's Tufts. Yeah, it's
It is Tufts. And it's funny. The whole thing is that we did a tour with my daughter last year to visit the university in Boston area, and we visit Tufts. And I was reading the book the same day that I was visiting that university. So it was great. But Tufts. And it's crazy because they were trying to buy the parcels, and they found out that the surface rights, actually most of them, not most, but the part of that were owned by a senator called Earl Bronson,
Yep.
and the mineral rights owned by Tufts University. Crazy.
Yeah. The very first parcel of land that they bought was from Earl Bronson.
Earl Bronson, yes.
Way to go, man. That was
I did
pretty
not expect
impressive,
that.
actually. I was
And
scared for you.
Got to it quick too.
Do
You have to think about
you
it
guys
real
thought
long.
that was the hardest one?
Yeah, I
I
did.
thought that was, I had
thought it
no
was-
idea.
No.
Yeah, I had no idea on that one.
It's
I had
not
an
one
idea
that
on the
comes up
others,
like
but-
in just conversation about Disney trivia.
Unless
Yeah.
you're talking to Carlos.
Yeah.
Unless you're talking.
Now you know what it's like to have dinner with Carlos. It's actually lovely. It's lovely. Kidding, buddy. Oh boy. Hey,
So what did I get? Like 1.5 out of 6?
do
No, you got.
you guys
Two?
hear that?
2.5 out of 6?
You hear that?
Do you hear that?
Yeah, I hear it too,
You hear
Jason.
something? What's that?
Oh, my friends. One thing I have to tell you: if you think that Jason was nice with you, in terms of sounds, the past 2 episodes, be prepared. Be prepared.
It gets harder.
He was inspired. I have to tell you, he was inspired.
I'm so sorry. I mean, like I didn't deliberately make them this challenging, but I know you guys are equal to the task. So, the first one, we don't usually start off with the really hard one, but I think the first one's kind of hard.
It's the hardest one.
I think it might be the hardest one.
Yeah.
So, Carlos, if you're ready what we're doing here is, for those of you who are new, we're going to play a little sound clip. I mean, when I say little sound clip, I mean like a little sound clip. And you have to, we're going to have you guess what the right answer is. And the first one, there's no fancy prizes other than the wonderful recognition that you'll get in the group for getting it right. So, and then after we find a winner, we will go ahead and play the full sound clip for you. So let's go with the first one.
Okay, so the first one will go in 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I know. You might need to do it again.
We might have somebody get it.
Okay.
You may have to do it again.
Again?
Because I think so. Yeah.
And okay, so
well,
I forgot the
so
okay.
So did Lou or Lisa, did you guys have a chance to listen to the little clips before? You don't say anything if you know what they are, but if you had a chance to, do you think these are difficult? Do you think people will get it?
I'm the wrong guy to answer because I don't get out much, so I was able to identify them.
I think someone got
Anthony.
it. Yes.
They were hard.
Anthony, way to go, buddy.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, it is Big Thunder Mountain. So let's I don't know if somebody else said Big Thunder Mountain. Let's see. I think that was Anthony.
Yeah.
I think he gets the prize. So let's go ahead and play the full reveal clip.
Okay.
There you go. Good job, Anthony. All right, number 2, second one.
Okay, number.
This is. I don't know whether this is going to be easy or whether it's going to be hard. Honestly, I think for some of you, you know who you are. You'll get it like that. Collin was like, I don't even know what this is. Let's go ahead and play number. Let's go ahead and play number 2, Carlos.
In 1, 2, and 3. Okay.
Do you want to play it again? Just for good measure?
He's bound.
Okay.
All right.
Let's see.
So
let's see for first our guess. Anyone get it?
save it.
Oh, someone got it.
Zach.
Zach, yes.
Way to
Really?
go, Zach, with
there.
Echo Lake.
That's
And
shocking.
Chris, you were
I had
close.
no idea there was a
that
sound
one-
of this.
Donald
to be quite
was
honest.
close.
Yes, there was.
Yeah, Lauren
Lauren.
Nova Studios. You guys, you got the
Lisa.
studios vibe.
Yeah.
Good job. Good job.
Let me do the review. Oh, I thought.
Yeah.
You know what happened?
And I gotta apologize for Ben, like for those who are chiming in late, because I know there's always this delay, and not everybody like receives the feed at the same time. So apologies for that. But I don't know that anybody else has said Echo Lake, but people got studios. People got studios for sure. Yeah, good. I think you guys did great. I'm happy even that you got the studios on that one. And Echo Lake, Zach, way to go, man.
That was a lot more difficult than I expected.
Let's go.
I know, because I don't think the reveal really helps you much, right? Like,
no.
Like even with the reveal, you're like, really? This is just a longer version of it. Okay, let's go to the last one, number 3, which is I think crazy hard.
That's crazy hard. Well, let's go. In 1, 2, and 3. Okay.
Let's just make maybe to 2 or 3 more times, maybe.
In 1, 2, and 3. Okay.
It's like you're going to the optometrist. Like before, like better, A, B,
better, worse.
Let's
I would do
it
it
one more time.
Yeah.
One more time, baby. Let's do it one more time.
My God.
He's like a genius. Zach is like, and Sarah got it.
Yes.
Oh my! I'm just gonna watch. I'm just gonna
Donald,
watch here.
Yeah. Let's
look at this. Donald got it. Like, and I know they're all on a delay, so they're not like reading each other's.
Yes.
I don't know where.
Ashley too.
Oh my goodness, Ashley got. And hello, Ashley. Good to see you. Oh my goodness. Christine, this is no idea.
Amanda. So yes. So
Heather, good job.
Let's do the review.
First presented at the DINOTO Glossphere, this legendary circular theater celebrates the progress that's made on Mars path. It's a perfect reminder that there's always a great, big, beautiful tomorrow shining at the end of every day.
Wow. And
way to go. You know, these guys, every week I think we're throwing a really, really difficult one at them. And
we never had a situation.
We still lose.
We can't. We never got any sound that could stump them. It's amazing.
Incredible.
Yes.
Way to go.
Was great. That was what's that sound? And guys, it's great. We're getting. You know, it's funny because our show gets the same. We get to the same time length every time. It's amazing. Every time
doing well.
The well-oiled machine we have here, Carlos.
Yes. Lisa and Lou, thank you very much for your time here. But I would like to ask each one of you to share a little bit more about your social media presence, whatever you do. Let's start with Lisa.
I have my blog is thecastlerun.com. On Instagram as the Castle Runner, and you can find me, across different channels under those names.
And there's something else that I want to just mention again, Lisa, because it was a hell of a success, and everybody was talking about it. Even I received messages from Brazil was about the core memory candles. Shameless plug.
Yeah, no, I wasn't going to mention them again, but on the blog, thecastlerun.com, if you go to the shop tab or just head straight to corememorycandles.com, there is a shop where you can get some Disney-inspired scents for your home, either in the form of candles or wax melts. Presently, there are some other products in the pipeline, so keep an eye out. But yeah, whether you want to bring the smells of Main Street or the Contemporary or Beach Club or anything else in the parks home, I've got you covered.
Okay. Lou, my friend, I think that people don't know you, so I'll kindly ask you to present yourself, just because I don't know if this crowd is familiar with you.
My name is Lou Mongello. I was born in New Jersey in 1968. I'll give you a shortened version. I've been talking about Disney World since 2004. Been podcasting since 2005 and live video. You can find all the Disney stuff that I do at www.radio.com. Everything else I do on the business side of things at loumongello.com. And I am at Lou Mongello on most of the social. And
also every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. we do have your Facebook Live, and I'm showing right now the card here. Not that the people are not aware of that, but it's always good to remember. And Lou, one thing I have to say, and this is not only from my end here, but including Collin and Jason and Lisa too. One of the reasons, the reason that we have in this show here, and the reason I got to know Jason, I got to know Lisa, I got to know Collin, and is because we had the experience of the momentum together, and it was amazing. And Lou, you're the reason of that. So it's not because of a show. It is mainly because I have really, really good friends, and I just want to thank you, because that is a gift. That is a hell of a gift.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you, man.
Jason.
Well, how do I, Lou Mangello? I just want to. So before I talk about Here with the Magic, I just want to say, like, both Lou and Lisa, like, I'm so happy you guys were able to join us, and Lisa, I can't reach. I was trying to reach my. I mean, it's like just a little too far out of camera, but I was trying to reach my my Galaxy Edge, the Galaxy's Edge candle, which I keep in here because it's just amazing core memory candles. But just to echo what Carlos was saying, I love you guys so much.
I can reach mine.
There it is. Lodge, there it is. It's like proof of life. We're all showing our like.
That's not what they look like.
But thank you guys so much for everything, and
they look more like this one.
Yeah, those are the pretty ones.
Oh, I only got a mini one.
Damn it! I'm trying to be like mushy here.
And
Anyway.
actually, I've given you probably 2 dozen. So.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. And I just want to add also, for those of you who are out there who are considering or have considered at some point attending one of Lou's Momentum events, whether it's a retreat or the the weekend workshop or the conference, or even actually maybe just signing up to have some one-on-one mentoring time, do it. Just do it. You'll thank me later. You'll thank Lou later. You'll thank Lou for the rest of your life, because it has changed all of our lives. I mean, everybody here. And
I've
Lou
said
is
it before, and I've said it time and time again. I wouldn't be sitting here doing what I do if it weren't for Lou about 3 years ago. Literally, he was about to give it up completely. So.
Lou's a fantastic friend and a great mentor, and really appreciate it. Everything you've done, buddy.
Keep
and
going.
You will not be eating
alone
alone at Boathouse. If you try to eat alone at Boathouse, I will hunt you down, and I will chase you with a lobster claw
from Kentucky.
So just a quick shameless plug for Here with the Magic. HereWithTheMagic.com is where you will find videos from the parks, from the resorts, from other related sort of Disney related spaces and places that is more focused on the chill than the thrill. And it's all about, kind of helping you not just reconnect with the places that you love in Disney, but also helping you kind of recenter yourself around the spirit of Disney. And so I invite you, if you haven't checked it out before, check it out at HereWithTheMagic.com. And I also invite you to join me each weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern for the lunch break, when we, say a few of us get together to watch some of the videos and chat about all sorts of things and snack and talk about snacks and various items. So it's a lot of fun, and you can find that at herewiththemagiclive.com, 12 p.m. Eastern each weekday. So that's my stuff. Collin, what about you, buddy?
Yeah, so the main thing for me right now is I just launched the print shop on my store, on the website, guideforww.com/shop, and you can finally get a print in your hands of some of my photography from the parks. I actually have one behind me. You can actually, you can't see it in the overlay, but it's one of my favorites. It's the Bay Lake Reflections. It's the one I recommend to everybody if you're just thinking about getting one. Prints incredibly well. They're all metallic prints, but other than that, I'm kind of the Disney trip planning guy, and a little more heartfelt stuff as well. But I won't go into that anymore since we've done that the last few shows. But yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Or if you have anything, custom orders or anything like that, don't hesitate to ask.
And they really are gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
Yes.
Thanks, buddy.
My friends, well, I'm the Brazilian in the room, so yeah, in case you don't know that. Oh, let me show one thing that I was wearing, but I forgot to. And,
I don't think any of us missed it, buddy.
Yeah. One thing that I just want to mention is that I run two profiles. One is called Ponto Orlando, the other is Ponto Miami. Is targeted to the Brazilian audience that is visiting Florida. Well, they're not visiting now, but they will be back soon.
When they get to.
Yeah, they'll be back soon. And I'm in Instagram and in Facebook, YouTube. And today, I just have to say that. Today, it was a little bit crazy, but one thing I have to tell you is that I'm crazy in my end here in the editing and trying to put all the screens together and everything like that. But what I can tell you guys is that this show structure is done and ready. So whenever Lou and Lisa, whenever you want to join us, it's not a matter of us inviting you guys. Just let us know. Everything is ready, done. This is your home, so it would be really good to have you on board whenever you want. If you want to do it, it is your home. Just to let you know, and buddies, third episode, and it was fun. It was fun.
Great time.
Yes.
Thank you guys.
Absolutely. Lots of fun.
And now we're going to the part of the Lou, Lisa, thank you very much. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Yes, we're going to the part of that everybody start crying.
I know. The Kleenex. It's time to grab your Kleenexes.
Yes, but it's important to say that this is that part is this big part of that is done by Jeremy Goff, and thank you. And let's go and see you in 1 week.
See you guys.
Take care.